Thank you for making it work. Okay, we have some other speakers we'd like to have up. So we're going to hear from a number of people. I think I'd like Maurice Herlihy to come up next. There. Maurice was a doctoral student, I hate to say this, fairly early in Barbara's career.
Well, thank you. So it seems like only yesterday that I showed up at 545 Tech Square, Cambridge, Mass. 02139, and I was issued the email address mph@MIT-LCS, which was the equivalent of a 5-digit phone number. And I think I was probably the second generation of Barbara's students, whatever John says, because the CLUE project had just wound down and the Argus project was just beginning. Now, every now and then, graduate students decide they want to unionize. Then the National Labor Relations Board has to decide whether graduate students are common laborers or skilled apprentices. Now, it's true that some graduate students really are exploited. I had a colleague when I was at CMU who was alleged to have told his students, if you don't show up on Saturday, don't bother coming in on Sunday. Yeah. Now, my experience was mostly different. I viewed my 6 short years in Barbara's group as an opportunity to learn by watching how to run a research group and indeed how to run a research career. So some things that I learned. It's a good idea to take your students and put them in the same offices and encourage them to collaborate and talk to each other. And I also admired the masterful way that she negotiated delicate issues about who got credit for which parts of group research. I learned that sometimes it makes sense when you have a student who is unsure about their topic to let them drift through the fields picking flowers for a while. And then other times it's more appropriate to explain in tactful but believe me, unambiguous ways that it's time to settle down and pick a topic and get out. But I think the most important thing that I learned was a sense of taste. Not just taste in choosing research topics, but a sense of how to pursue research topics. Now, Barbara's work then and now, I think, is characterized by a kind of a fierce common sense. Now, common sense is a bit of a misnomer because it's not very common. Now, to pick one example of many from back in the early days, the very notion of having strong type checking in programming languages today is so commonplace that we don't really even notice it. But at the time, I could remember vigorous disputes, sometimes with people who may be in this room, about whether this kind of a thing was tolerable. And I think those people should have known better. But I think the main thing that I learned was how to approach research not driven by mystic insight, not driven by personal prejudice, not driven by ideological fervor, but to do a kind of scholarly and scientific due diligence on the ideas before you pursue them. And it made a big difference for me, and I'd like to thank Barbara for teaching me this. Thank you.